Let's look at matching enums and associated values. So here on our screen we have enum continents, and then we have these three cases: case Africa, case Asia, and case Europe. Now we're setting a constant here of type enum, and then we're setting the value to Africa here. So we have a continents dot Africa. And now we're using a switch case block to filter through the values in our enums. So, sorry, the cases in our enums, not values. So for case dot Africa, so we have to use dot Africa, not just Africa. So we say welcome to Africa. Then for case dot Asia, welcome to Asia. And then for the default, we have where are you from? You remember if you look at this, you notice that we didn't include a case for Europe. If we did that, well, there won't be a need for defaults. So if I run this, for instance, no, it's not running. Okay, so it's running now. In case it didn't boot up on time, I'm going to open terminal here manually. Then I'm going to go to debug console. Okay, so it says welcome to Africa. Okay, so welcome to Africa. That's what we have here. This. If I set this to .asia, then we're going to get welcome to Asia instead of Africa. So welcome to Asia. Now, if we don't want to use a switch case, then we don't want to use the switch block, we can also do something like we can do the basic conditional statement. We can do if continent is equals to dot Africa. And then here we can do print welcome to Africa. We can also do else if continent is equals to dot Asia. Then we can do print welcome to Asia, and then I'm just gonna stop else print are you from Europe, like so. So I'm gonna okay, this is Asia. I'm gonna save this. Remember, this is what we have. So I'm gonna run this, and then this should say welcome to Asia. Debug anyway. So welcome to Asia, just as if we did Africa. So welcome to Africa. Welcome to Africa. If I did this, I change this to Europe, what happened? Europe. And save this. Let's see. So it's building. Good. It says, are you from Europe? Good. Now, we can also have associated values, although things might get a bit interesting when we're trying to filter through our enums like so. So here I can do temperature. So temperature is going to be of type int, like so. Now this is going to change the dynamic of how we filter through what we have there. So I'm going to delete this, set this back to .africa, like so. And then let's look at how we might get the value using what is it called? Using our switch case filter. So here I'm going to do, this is expecting, so temperature, I'm going to set the temperature to 30, like so. Then we'll do a switch consonant, and then in here we can do case dot africa, and then here I'm going to do let temperature, like so. Then here I can do print welcome to Africa, temperature is temperature degree Celsius, like so. We can also do case dot Asia, and then we can say print welcome to Asia, like so. And then for default, say print are you from Europe, like so. So here we are having associated values. So I'm going to save. So here we have we set our value, set the type, and then here when we declare our constant, we set the value of these associated variable. So for this case, we're going to print welcome to Africa, temperature is, it's going to capture the value of this temperature. So I'm going to run this. Yo, say welcome to Africa, temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now another thing we can do is we can create an associated type, and then we can bind the local constant to it, and then let's see how we might do that. We can have so I'm going to stick with what I have here, temperature integer type, and then for here continent Africa, I'm going to stick with temperature is equals to 30 like before. But then in our switch in the switch case, I'm going to do something a bit I don't want to use the word radical, maybe different. So for case dot Africa, say let temperature here. So I'm going to do where temperature is less than, let's say 30. So if temperature is less than 30, then you say print it's quite cold. Temperature is temperature. Okay, so let me leave it like that. I can also do include another case to case dot Africa, and then here I can pass let temperature, and then I can have my where clause where temperature is equals to 30. So that's our case, and then here I can do print temperature is equals to 30, then say are you from West Africa, like so. And then for Asia and our default, we can leave it like that. So let's see what we're going to get. I think we're going to get for the second case here. All right, let's see. I'm going to run this. Okay, so it says, are you from West Africa? So that's the second case here. So less than 30 equals to 30. If I were to change this to temperature is less than 30, I want a situation where, okay, if I were to change this to, okay, temperature is 30, if temperature is less than 30, I don't know, if I change this to 40, what does it do? This building phase is taking quite a while. Okay, it says, are you from Europe? Of course. If I do, temperature is 30. Okay, I'm going to take this back to 30. If I set this temperature to 29, I was hoping for something where temperature is less than 30. Okay, and then let's see. Someone is it's quite cool. Temperature is okay. It's quite cool. Temperature is 9 degrees Celsius. So that's for the first one. Now there's more we can do with this. For instance, we can combine two techniques together where we could have maybe associated values, and then we can do some range matching. So let's look at how we might accomplish that. I'm going to take this back to 30, and then here we have switch continents. The first case, I'm going to do dot case Africa with let temperature, and then where temperature, I'm going to set this to 0 is equals to 0 here. If temperature is 0, then here I'm just going to say print you are not from Africa. You are not from Africa, like so. And then we could have another one where I'm going to do here I'm going to do a range. I'm going to do something like where so yeah, I'm going to do a range of values 1 to 29. Then I'm going to do dot contains temperature, like so. So this is another way you can do this. So we're doing range matching here inside our switch case block. So that's another thing we can do. And then here we can do you from East, and is it Central Africa? Central Africa, and temperature is pass the temperature here, temperature degrees Celsius. Um, Maybe I want to do south. South is a bit cold. So that's one way we can look at it. We can also include another case. For instance, we can do case dot Africa, and then we can do let temperature here, and then we can do our where clause here, where temperature is equals to 30, like so. And then here we can do print are you from East Africa? East Africa, like so. So this is, so we're doing quite a bit here. We're doing a range matching here as well with our associated value. So here I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to run this. So within range value, range matching and associated values. So I'm going to run this and let's see what we get. Okay, so it says, are you from East Africa? So this resolved this one. We have 1 to 29, so if I change this to 29, they should say you're from South and or Central Africa. So I'm going to run this. Okay, so say you're from South or Central Africa and the temperature is 29 degrees Celsius. So that's for this one. Now, another thing we might want to do is we might want to match associated values in a loop. So we can create an array, for instance. So let's look at how we might accomplish that. I'm going to delete this. We're going to come back to this later, but we'll see. So I'm going to delete that, and then here I'm going to do, instead of this, I'm going to have an array instead. So I'm going to delete this also. So I'm going to explicitly pass the enum here as my type. So it's going to be consonant, like so, and then this is going to equals to an array. So I'm going to do dot Africa. We can pass the associated value there, temperature. I'm going to set that to 30. I can pass another one, dot Asia. That's the second item in the array. Then I can pass dot Europe, and then I can pass dot Africa again. Temperature, set that to 40, and then I'm going to set pass. What else do I have there? I think I'm going to stop for that for now. So now we have to loop through our array, but then the where clause that we did the other time is not just going to work if we're to implement it like so. So in order to use this array, to loop through this array, we're going to use case-let syntax. So let's look at how we might do that. We can do for case let, then dot Africa. Then we'll pass the associated variable here, temperature, in continent. This one in continent. And then we want to say print the weather. The weather is beautiful in Africa, temperature is gonna pass temperature here and then degrees. So I'm gonna stop like that so that the printout is not too long. So let's see. So this is going to loop through what we have here, and we're setting a 4 case let. So this is only going to filter for Africa that we have inside our array. So I'm going to run this. Yeah. So for the first item, so the weather is beautiful in Africa, temperature is 30 degrees. And then weather is beautiful in Africa, temperature is 40 degrees. That's for the second. Um, we can also be more explicit in the way we filter. For instance, we can do, instead of doing for case let, can do for case dot Africa, and then going to dot Africa, and then instead of passing this, I can pass 40 here. So now I can do you're from North Africa. You can say print you are from North Africa, like so. And then save this and then run this. Okay, so it says you are from North Africa. So guys, that's for matching enums and associated values. Hope to see you soon.